Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I've got the American Songbook Chestnut T for Two. Well, it's a special request, and I'm not one to turn away from a challenge. T for Two is a great tune to study your two fives. There's kind of a unique key level shift that's worth taking a look at. And it's one of the most recorded songs of all time. Of course, it has a little head start on us. It was originally composed in 1924. Let's look at T for Two. T for Two is a song from the musical No No Nanette. No No Nanette. It's a sort of a light, ebullient comedy. And music by Vincent, I'm going to get his name right, Vincent Youmans, and great lyrics by Irving Caesar. And Irving Caesar's worth talking about because he was an enormous sort of moving force in the American songwriters sort of world, the American Songwriters Guild Association. He sort of founded it. He was born in that same area of the Lower East Side that the Gershwins came up out of. He knew the Marx Brothers when he was a kid. He wrote a bunch of great song lyrics. And No No Nanette is sort of a collection of kind of wonderful songs. The two most best known songs are certainly T for Two and also I Want to Be Happy, which is sort of the codependence anthem. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy until I make you happy too. I have fond memories of learning this tune back when I was in school. I remember being assigned it, basically, the whole sort of group of us. And at that time, there were some pretty good players in this group. Matt Backer, the really amazing session guitarist from London, was in this circle of people. And he and his buddy Daryl came in the next week with T for Two. And instead of swinging it, they did it with a hard rock straight eighth beat that was kind of hilarious. Our teacher at the time, the trumpet player Ray Copeland, and Ray was this great, funny guy who played trumpet with Thelonious Monk. In fact, he's on the Genius of Modern Music album. He's the trumpet player, the screamer, the high trumpet. That's Ray. By the time I met Ray, he was older and he was, wasn't playing up in the stratosphere anymore. But what a happy guy. He conducted the big band like this. He'd get in front of the band. He was a big man. He'd get in front of the band and he just would do this. Like, I've had a few opportunities to play in a big band as a leader, and every time I stand up in front of the band and do that now, I feel like I'm channeling Ray Copeland. Well, listen, I'm going to play through T for Two, and then we'll talk about it, because, boy, what a great example of a masterpiece of two fives. And, of course, you'll recognize this melody. Let's look at the chart together. So it begins, well, you can look at this chart here. It's in A flat. And in the recordings in Spotify right now, I'm going to recommend Ella Fitzgerald with the Basie Band. It's terrific. There are numerous recordings of it, of course, available. My favorite one, undoubtedly, Thelonious Monk's. But you have some examples of really kind of like extravagantly florid versions. Like there's an Art Tatum recording of it where it's right. And like so many people have recorded this tune. Blossom Dearie, Peyton recorded it. It goes on and on. So we're in A flat, and you'll hear it played in A flat or G, or if you have a singer, you have to do whatever. But so it begins with a 2-5 pair, B flat minor 7, E flat. And of course, we're heading to A flat, but we don't get there right away. And this is a classic. Listen to this. This is the 7th of B flat minor 7, and it goes to the 3rd of E flat 7. And of course, that's essentially what's important about the progression. That sound. And he's made that sound the melody. Vincent Youmans. 2-5. And then we resolve to A flat. And we get this kind of beautiful bluesy sound, D flat 7. A flat major 7 has a C, D flat 7 has a C flat. And that bluesy sound is great. In fact, I love Ella Fitzgerald's take on this song. When she gets to the word happy in the very last line, she sings a blue note, happy, how happy we'd be. It's so genius. Anyway, here we are, A flat, and then C minor 7, B diminished 7. Well, this is interesting to me because C minor 7 is essentially the top 4 notes of A flat major 7 major 9. Interesting, right? B diminished 7 is essentially the top, I don't know, it's a bunch of top notes from D flat 7 flat 9. So this is a beautiful effect. They're substitute chords for this. Same sound, but with a little more spice. You've got ninths, you've got a flat 9. We're back to B flat. That's 2-5. And because Youmans doesn't want to resolve yet, we don't go to the A flat, we go to the 3rd of A flat, we go to the C. On my chart, it says A flat 6, but we could turn around any way we'd like. We've got a measure of A flat, and I like myself to do a turnaround that uses the D flat 7 again with a flat 9. And then that can come up to the D minor. And the fun thing about that is now we're in a new key level, really. The key hasn't changed on the chart, but D minor 7 G7 is, of course, 2-5 in C. Resolves to C. And you've probably realized this is exactly what we just did, but just up, a major 3rd. There are actually, just a bunch of American songbook standards that use this mediant modulation trick. And, you can feel free to do it all the time. In fact, if you've ever worked on giant steps, you know just what I mean. Well, where were we? We got to resolve to C, right? Okay. It goes to the 3rd again, and then sinks down a half step to become E flat 7, and we're back where we started. And now we're going to turn it around. C minor 7 flat 5. That's like the minor 2 chord in a minor 2-5, and in fact, F7 flat 9 is a version of a 5 chord in a minor 2-5. And that would normally be a kind of a fun alteration type of sound heading towards B flat minor. And that's where we're going, except we get B flat minor 7, the one that we've had all along. Although I have to say, you could make an argument that this is B flat minor major 7, and Monk does play the A instead of the A flat. Let's look at that last cadence again. It's lovely. Only notes from the diatonic scale from A flat major. Starts on the 6. And then it starts on the 5. And this beautiful minor sound. And then well, T for 2 has a high cheese factor. It's full fat mozzarella, this tune, but great to work with. I think it kind of brings out a lot of interesting things in players. It's fun to call on the bandstand and fun to blow over. And because of its clever use of the mediant modulation and also just really kind of like steady 2/5 energy, it's not a bad study for all kinds of theoretical knowledge. It sort of encapsulates kind of a combination of it's an interesting sort of period in the development of the American songbook, right? Irving Berlin's songs harken back to the music hall songs of Europe in the late 19th century. And then there's this break point with Gershwin where suddenly American blues and the sort of black classical music of the 20s and 30s begins to percolate into mainstream American songbook stuff. And for me, T for Two sort of balances right on the edge of that change. Because of that, it's very interesting to me and a tune that's really well worth looking at. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.